making our own story as we go.
Hi, welcome to Your Dream Day podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Peach Lucas. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to click that bell so that you can get all the latest and greatest episodes of Your Dream Day podcast, where we interview local wedding professionals from all over Southwest Ohio, Southeast Indiana, Northern Kentucky, and anybody else who finds their way to our podcast. So today we are at a brand new venue called the Ventura, and Sarah Daugherty is here to tell us a little bit about the Ventura.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm
Absolutely.
so excited.
Oh, yay. We love excited people. So tell us a little bit about the Ventura. You guys are located right in Norwood, in
Yes.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. So Cincinnati surrounds the city of Norwood on all sides. So we are the prime example of centrally located. We've got 71 on one side, 75 on the other, and the Norwood lateral that runs right through. So we are the perfect location to host any event.
Don't forget about Xavier, right down the street.
Yes.
Go Muskies. Yeah, no, when I was coming in today, I'm like, it's amazing how much this area has changed.
Yeah, Norwood is just booming, growing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm fifth generation Norwood.
Wow.
So watching the growth and the change in positive ways has happened. It's been so exciting.
There's got to be a plaque of one of your ancestors somewhere around
Somewhere,
town.
yeah. My parents my grandparents met at the playing card factory. So when they
Wow.
worked there as teenagers. So yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So
it's awesome.
you're like the perfect person to be spearheading this then, because you're like, you need like a Miss Norwood stash.
Yeah, some of my friends joke that I'm the unofficial mayor of Norwood.
The unofficial mayor.
Yep. Our building used to be a bank. It's very, very, very old. It was
Wow.
called the first skyscraper of Norwood.
Wow.
So the part of the building that my office is in is a 7-story building. And then in the late 60s, an addition was put on, and that's where the tellers and things were. So we do have original vaults in our building, which is really cool and adds just this really classic piece to the venue.
Nobody's locked the groom in the vault yet, right?
We have not had that, luckily.
It is in the groom suite.
It is.
One of them is in the groom suite.
But we have a fireplace in there, so if they do get cold feet, we've got the fireplace.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So the main ballroom area, so to say, it's just beautiful. Like when you go in there, you would have no idea that you're on a busy street in Norwood, because everything just looks so elegant and just so, I can't even.
Yeah, classic,
classy.
simple. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
it's so classy and simple and contemporary. It's amazing. So tell us a little bit about the big room.
Yeah, so we've got hardwood floors throughout. Our capacity, we can sit 200 seated for dinner, and that still leaves room for a dance area. We've had stages put in, live bands, or if you want to go just the traditional DJ route. Mm-hmm. All of our lights are dimmable, and then if you wanted to do more of a fundraising event, we can do 300 standing, kind of a cocktail table vibe.
Well, and what's cool about the dance floor part is your floor is actually a floor. It's not a rug.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about bringing in your own dance floor. You can just literally carve out a dancing area.
Yes.
Which
So
is nice.
All of our layouts for our clients, our couples, it's customizable. And so we sit down and we have a digital design and we customize where they want each specific table, where they want their desserts to go, where they want the DJ to be located, where they want the focal point, their head table, or a sweetheart table. We transform the room into what their vision is.
That's perfect. And you have electricity.
All throughout the room.
All throughout the room, which
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but it is actually very important to check out the electricity at your venue, because and again, this is not reflective on your venue. This is just other venues I've dealt with in the past where they may not have had the voltage capability to run a specific DJ's sound system, and so it would keep crashing. And you'd have to keep flipping the switch on the breaker. I had that same situation with an outdoor wedding once where the couple had said, "Oh, we'll have you use these outlets that are on the perimeter of the outdoor pool and just run a cord across." Well, it kept what's the term when the electricity cuts off?
Cuts off, yeah, the breaker,
breaker.
the fuse blows.
There
yeah,
you go,
yeah.
fuse blows. And so we actually had to find a different one to use because we couldn't use that one and ended up having to run a cord like clear across the property.
Yeah, and that's what we don't have to worry about is
Yeah.
cords going this way and that way on the floor and people tripping.
Yep.
It keeps everything in one spot. And it also leaves open for photo booths or
Yes.
360 photo booths. You know, we have that electricity option so you can really put what you want where you want in the space.
That really is a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you go into these older restored properties, they haven't taken the time to do something like that. When talking a little bit about photo booths, you have a beautiful green wall that
do.
couples can use as
Yeah.
like their red carpet picture spot.
Yeah, and so a lot of our couples will do that. They will opt to just have their friends and family take photos on their phone instead of having an actual photo booth. So right as you come in, we do have a greenery wall that is permanent. It stays there all time. It's a giant grid, so they can decorate it however they like. They can do neon signs. There's, again, electricity there. So
Edison would love this podcast.
yeah. Yeah, sponsored by Duke. Yeah, and all of our lights fixtures are updated so everything can be dimmable to really create that atmosphere that you're looking for after dinner is over and when the party starts.
So we're talking about after dinner and before the party starts. There's also something that starts after the ceremony starts and before the party begins.
Yeah.
And that's your cocktail hour area, which is, again, it's one of those things. Whoever designed the architecture for this building with the intent of making it a wedding reception venue, they were right on the money. I mean, it's this beautiful hardwood wall that covers the eyesore of the street that's there.
Yep.
And it's just like you go into this little world.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to use the word cool, but that's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's just really, really cool.
It's perfect for being in this metropolis and you walk outside and it's still like a breath of fresh air. So we do have our outdoor patio. It's got planters, 2 pergolas, bistro lighting, and then if it's a chillier evening, we do provide heat lanterns. That is all included in the rental.
And speaking of all night, it is all night.
It is all night, yeah. So our reception windows start at 4 hours, but you can add on any additional hours. We do not have a cutoff time.
We were talking when we were walking through about how if I really wanted to stay till 3 a.m, I could stay until 3 a.m.
You could stay until 3 a.m. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I've had couples do that where they're just late night people. And usually it's just, if you have about 200 people invited to the wedding, it's usually just a crowd of like 20 to 25, and they're the ones who close the party down.
Yeah.
But they're going to stay until they're kicked out.
Yeah.
How does the bar work though? Is that open the entire time as well? Or is
Yeah,
that cut
so,
off at a certain time?
We work through all of that with our clients individually, case by case basis. Same as the reception, it starts at a 4-hour window. So we do have a full liquor license and provide all of the alcohol and a bartender's service here at the venue. So whenever they want that 4-hour bar time to start, we work with that and they can add on additional bar hours if they like for an additional fee. It's not by much. And again, we can keep that party going.
And your bar prices are really, really reasonable.
Yeah, our beer and wine package starts at $15 per person, all you can drink for 4 hours, and
That's
it goes
amazing.
up from there. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, we like to have a good time.
And everybody can get home safely because the police are very close by too.
Yeah. We allow cars we have our own private parking lot, so cars can stay overnight to make sure that everyone gets home safe if they want to Uber or Lyft. We have security cameras outside, great lighting in our parking lot, and our hotel partners, if you book with them, they offer complimentary shuttle for your guests.
That's huge.
Huge, yeah.
That is a huge
Yeah.
plus. A lot of hotels are getting out of the shuttle business.
Yeah.
So the fact that both of your preferred hotels offer that is huge.
Yes, yeah.
Huge. And you also have a couple of preferred caterers that you work with.
Yeah, so we do not have a full kitchen here, so we do outsource all of our catering. Our 2 preferred are Village Pantry and Delight More. We've been working with them since we opened, and they do a phenomenal job. They know this venue like the back of their hands. Their staff is amazing, and if you book either of them, our clients get a complimentary champagne toast that's served during dinner, and it's a 15% food cost catering fee.
And that's actually pretty standard. So, for those of you who are listening who are just getting into the process of exploring venues and they have a preferred caterer, how does that work? This is basically how it works.
Yeah.
The reason why venues have preferred catering lists is it protects the integrity of their kitchen. Because sometimes you'll have an unlicensed person who may bring in their own food and they leave the kitchen a mess, or they don't know how to use the hot boxes, for example, to keep food warm, or they don't know how to do this. And then the next thing you know, you're shelling out lots and lots of money fixing something that should never have been broken to begin with.
Right.
And it also brings up the integrity of the food. These two caterers, I work with both of them. They're wonderful. They're licensed. They're insured. They know what they're doing. They know how to keep food at safe temperatures. They know how to offer a variety as far as menu goes.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's great about these two particular caterers is they are two completely different price brackets.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to feel like you're being priced out of one because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't book this venue because that caterer is so expensive.
Right.
You have a really nice balance of the both.
Yeah. And so that being said, we also don't require to use those. Those are just our recommended. They're here the most. But if a client, couple, if they wanted to use a different caterer, we say, okay, we have to approve them to make sure that they have the appropriate insurance, like you mentioned, that they bring a full staff to serve the food, clean up afterwards, take care of everything food related. And as long as they agree to our venue standards and they have all the appropriate licensures, things like that, then we say, okay.
There you go. And when you have ethnic weddings that may have a specific type of cuisine that they have to have that one of
Yes.
these two caterers probably won't be able to fulfill to the best of their abilities just because it's a culture thing.
Yeah.
And one time I had a caterer that came in all the way from Columbus to serve Nigerian food.
Wow.
Because this particular groom said, I know there's Nigerian caterers closer, but that's the food we want. That's
who we want. Yeah.
Yep. He ended up being 45 minutes late, but that's another story.
Yeah.
We had to extend cocktail hour a little bit. But Indian weddings are the same way, where in their culture, there's usually 3 or 4 caterers that they stick to like glue, and everybody uses them for weddings. And they're going to feel more comfortable with somebody like that coming in. But again, somebody like that would be licensed and insured because most of them have restaurants.
Yes, exactly. And yep, we have had that. We outside of weddings, we had a very large Indian baby shower. And so they did their outsourcing of their catering and the different customs and bringing in their priests and everything. It was so cool. Oh,
I love Indian weddings. They're my favorite.
Awesome. Yeah. So.
So let's talk a little bit about the ceremony. How do ceremonies work here?
Yeah, so we do offer ceremonies. We have 3 different layouts per se for our ceremonies. Inside, there's 2 different setups that we tend to stick to. Both of them, we only offer California style seating. Okay. So guests are already sat at their tables for the ceremony. We just have one big ballroom and not enough room to do a full flip from an aisle to tables for dinner.
Sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So our first option is getting married in front of the curtain wall. And standing up there. And then the second option is, our more popular option is standing in front of what we call our mirror wall. And it's more centralized, great focal point. And so either one of those, it works for the inside really, really well. After the ceremony, we do bring out a sweetheart table or some kind of head table for our guests to sit at during dinner. We normally do that flip during cocktail hour.
Gotcha.
And then our third option is out on the patio. So the patio is where we can do aisle seating. We have folding chairs on site, and we can fit up to 100 out there. Okay. So most of our clients, though, do a more intimate setting on the patio. They have small, maybe immediate family, close friends, or just the bridal party even, and then they have the rest of their friends and family come just for the reception.
I've been seeing that more and more.
Yeah.
I had a wedding last year where the bride did that. They invited maybe not even 50 people to their 300 guest wedding reception.
Yeah.
And they only had them there for the ceremony, and then everybody else came for the reception. And then the photographer had taken some pictures of the ceremony and put them on a flash drive and had them playing on a television so that people who didn't go to the ceremony could still see it and enjoy it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
But they're just, that wasn't what the bride wanted.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see that more and more. I have another couple this year that's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, maybe this is a new trend that's starting to emerge for the Midwest that nobody's been aware of.
Yeah.
Is just having an intimate ceremony and a big party reception the same day, as opposed to eloping and having a small ceremony and then 3 or 4 months later having a big party back home for everybody.
And we've seen both. We do have a projector in our venue as well. So for those destination weddings, we have one coming up where they're going to play the ceremony on the projector and then have the reception. So they're going to have it
What a
played
great
during
idea.
dinner. Yeah. And then after dinner, we'll just have a normal reception. So if it's a wedding out on the patio and it's a smaller guest count, we will use our dining room Chiavari chairs out there instead of our white folding chairs. Both are phenomenal.
I was going to say, I had my eye on those gold Chiavaris.
Yes.
That is a wonderful chair to have as your house chair.
Yep, that's our standard chair. Yeah.
That's
and
amazing.
We get lots of compliments on them.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're great. Yeah.
Because if you were to go rent those, you're going to be looking anywhere from $5 to $10 a chair, depending on where you get it and whether you have a chair pad on it.
Yep, exactly. So
And delivery.
yes, so many things go into that. And so our rental costs includes all of our chairs, all of our tables, whether it's our rounds, our banquets, our high tops. It's all included. We don't pick price per chair, per table, or anything like that.
That's wonderful. What size are your round tables?
5 foot.
They're 5 foot rounds.
Yep.
Okay. So with a 5 foot round, you can seat comfortably 8 people, really comfortably 6 people, squished but okay at 10.
Yes.
And I think it's important to ask when you go to your venue, what size are your tables? Because there may be 9 people that have to sit together because they're a group, and it's just more for you to be aware. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but they're only going to be sitting there for maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes tops.
Right, yeah.
They're there to eat.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get up and dance.
Exactly.
So, don't let that be a deterrent if you envisioned sitting 10 people at a table, because you can do it with a 5 foot round.
Yeah.
Now, if you have chargers, you're not going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
So if you decide you want to have a charger plate, which is a decorative plate that goes below
Your
your
dinner plate.
dinner plate. I was going to say your consumption plate. But your dinner plate. Yeah. I like dinner plate better than consumption plate.
It sounds like you're
the
eating
words
it.
weren't coming to me. But it's a decorative plate, but you're not going to be able to fit 8 of those or 10 of those at a table with flatware and glassware. It's just not big enough.
Yeah.
And actually, that brings up another point with the caterers. Since you provide the tables and the chairs, the caterer will take care of providing linens.
Nope.
No, you do
Yeah,
that too?
We provide the tablecloths.
Okay, wonderful.
So our clients get to choose between white or black, and that's what the room will look like when they show up. The chairs, the amount of chairs at each table, whether it's 8 or 10, 6, 7, those will be set with the tablecloths. We are a DIY wedding venue where our clients do have to bring in their own table decor. We don't offer that at all, so they can either hire someone out or buy off Facebook Marketplace and bring everything in. And then our caterers are responsible for plates, dinner napkins, and flatware. We provide all the barware, so all the cups, cocktail napkins, things like that. We take care of that.
Nice.
But yeah, we provide tablecloths.
It's funny that you have a vault here, because I used to call it a vault of stuff. And it was actually a storage unit, and it just had all of these decorating pieces that a couple would give me, and they say, "We don't want it. Do you want it? We don't want it. Do you want it?" And the next thing you know, I've got this
Everything.
10 by 20 storage space full of stuff from, ceiling to floor.
Yeah.
It took me a year to sell all that stuff off.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, you can get some great deals on those Facebook groups if you find somebody that is selling exactly what you're looking for, but
Right.
be prepared to have a lot of storage, and it will take you time to sell
To
it.
sell it, yeah. Yeah, and I find a lot of brides at one point, they're just like, just take it because I don't want to see it in my garage anymore.
I was kind of like that. There's an event that happens around here a couple times a year called the Wedding Resale Market.
Oh.
And basically that's what it is. It's past brides buy a table. They sell them to vendors too. And they
Yeah.
buy a table, they sell their stuff, and they get to keep their money from all their proceeds and sales. And
Yeah.
they just pay that fee to rent a table.
That's awesome.
And
Wow.
at the last one I was at, I literally was like, no, you can just have it. I didn't want to put it in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what we have ran into with this venue is we
Yeah.
don't have a lot of storage space and trying to keep track of inventory. So we just let the clients take care of the decorating themselves. It depends on scheduling. So we do offer a day before decorating for no additional cost to come in during
That's
business
huge.
hours. Yeah. So that way they can get the decorating out of the way. And then we also offer rehearsals the week of their wedding. That does cost an additional fee, but that fee covers having a venue manager on site to help
Makes
with their
sense.
rehearsal.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So if for some reason there is an event that takes place the night before, they can come in that morning of and get all their decorating once the ballroom is ready. But as far as access to the venue, that starts at 8 a.m. So they get to come in, they can use our getting ready suites, our bridal suite, our groom's den to get their hair, their makeup done, get dressed, relax, get photos done, all that extra stuff. And then as soon as the ballroom is ready, they can get in there and get their decorating done.
And if you have an entourage, it goes pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you have, and again, this is just, sidebar Kathy here. Like, when I think of things, it's like, here we go. If you have a large wedding party, like let's say you have 8 bridesmaids and 8 groomsmen, you have to allow 30 minutes per application. So make sure that if you're planning on having your wedding party help you decorate, make sure that you allow enough time for their hair and makeup to get done in addition to that decorating for you, because you don't want them decorating in heavy makeup and
Right.
crispy hair from all the hairspray.
Yeah.
Even though
Get-
Kenra 25 tends to keep everything shellacked pretty well. But ask any makeup artist or hair artist what hairspray to use, and I would say probably like 95% of them use Kenra 25.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that hairspray,
it works. It's all
It
day,
works.
all day hold. You don't have to worry about it. No hair out of place.
No, I was talking with one of my a girl who's getting married, and she booked us for planning for this fall, and she was talking about her makeup artist, and she said, yeah, I don't know what she put on my face, but man, it stayed in place. Like, I slept through it and everything. It was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm most excited for when one day I get married is getting my makeup done. It's the airbrush is what I'm looking forward to. That
know what-
stuff doesn't go anywhere.
You know, it's so funny. Like, when people in the wedding industry get married, it's like so weird because you almost have to be private about it, because if a vendor finds out that you booked a different vendor as photographer instead of them, they get like so jealous.
I know.
They're like, what do you mean you booked so and so? What about me?
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm gonna. We were talking about eloping earlier. I might have to do that. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm hoping soon my boyfriend will pop the question. So.
Well, when he does, we'll just have to get like an engagement proposal video or something.
Yes.
Be like, look, we met her before.
Yeah. I'll just slide your card to him and
Be like, here you go.
here. This is a client.
There's not a 20 underneath
Yeah.
it. Don't worry.
That would be awesome.
Sarah, how can people find the Ventura? How do they get information?
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, Instagram, and we also have our website. It is the-ventura.com. So everyone can find us there. Our pricing is listed. My contact information is on there. But the best way to get a hold of me is just email. It's bookings@the-ventura.com. And I would be glad to set up tours with anybody, respond to any inquiries, talk about what dates I have open. So we're booking into 2027 right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That means it's going to be 2030 pretty soon.
Oh, goodness. Wow. That's crazy to think about.
Ah,
It's 2025. That's too far away.
wonderful. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Your Dream Day podcast. You can subscribe here on YouTube, or you can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be iHeart, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you should be able to find us. This is Kathy Peach Lucas with Your Dream Day. Happy planning.